With its imperceptible smile reminiscent of the Mona Lisa, the portrait of this Neapolitan beauty is sometimes called Ingres' mysterious Mona Lisa. Struck with the charm of intimacy, imbued with grace, it is one of the most famous and accomplished masterpieces of the painter's youth. In 1807, Ingres was a boarder at the French Academy in Rome, and at that time, he did not hesitate to sublimate reality in order to achieve a kind of ideal perfection. To do this, he uses pure lines and almost geometric shapes, which he assembles with genius. The hair, separated into two dark and almost identical parts, responds to the curvature of the chin and delicate cheeks, forming an almost perfect oval. The slight slope of the lips responds to that of the eyebrows and eyelashes that border those fascinating almond-shaped eyes. As for the strict parting in the nasal bridge, they trace an imaginary axis that underlines the symmetry of this Madonna-like face. Shaped by the light with great gentleness, its pictorial treatment is subtle. No impasto, no visible brush strokes, a reduced range of colours. All around, everything is roundness, curves and countercurves. The circular shape of the back of the armchair, which extends the left shoulder, the comb and the necklace, which underline the contour of the face, the neckline, the black velvet sleeves, the right arm, the volutes in gold thread of the armchair and the shawl. Behind the virtuosity of this piece, there is a lot of work, doubt and procrastination which are visible on the surface of the material and whose traces can be seen thanks to the infrared reflectography. The adjustments we see here show us that Ingres had to modify the shape of the fabric and the placement of the embroidered braids several times in order to offer us this masterful drape with its clever folds and silky reflections, which was also intended to hide an arm that was a little too long. Kept at a distance from her noble face, her finery adorns the young woman with a luxury that testifies to her wealth. A few highlights of white on the flat surface, seen here through the topographic view, catch the light and make the diamonds in her rings sparkle, while the gold-encrusted cut-out tortoise shell strands of a sumptuous fan shimmer. By placing the white highlight, which corresponds to the reflection of the outside light, on the top of the pupils rather than in their centre, Ingres manages to give his model a certain interiority, despite the frontal nature of her gaze. She stares at us, she is with us, and a little elsewhere. Perhaps she is thinking of Baron Alquier, the French ambassador whose mistress she is, and who commissioned her portrait from the painter who faces her. Does she suspect that she will go down in history? That her image will be the talk of critics? That she will be admired by the princes of Orleans? In the 1830s, nearly 25 years later, Ingres will receive a visit to his studio from an elderly and destitute woman that he will not recognize immediately and who will want to sell him her portrait. These moving reunions with his painting and with Madame Duvaucey inspired Théophile Gautier to write these words on the inevitable distance between the living and the images of past moments. The years that destroyed the model embellished the painting, and the less it resembled her, the more the poor woman wanted it. It was only through this painting that she regained the tradition of herself.